So Good Boy. Everyone's talking about Good Boy. I went and saw it in cinemas. And honestly, director Ben Leonberg, did you honestly think you could get away with such an obvious emotional manipulation? Like, did you think you could just cast a dog as the main character in a horror film and just expect people to like it? Like, especially me, like Jake SpookieKnights, who's seen everything from Goosebumps to The Sadness. You thought, oh, I'll just chuck a dog in the horror film and people, like, reviewers will probably love it. Well, like Indy, you have great instincts because you are correct. I did like this film because I fucking love a puppy. Yes, you are. You're a sweet baby boy. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, right? Good Boy doesn't do anything particularly novel with the haunted house movie. There's no new ghost mechanics or anything like that. But my friend Luke and I really enjoyed watching this movie and the events in this movie unfold and be told from the perspective of Indy, right? Like, that is something we haven't seen before. It sort of felt like, you know, Christopher Columbus in Home Alone, how he shoots a lot of things from Kevin's point of view to make it scary, like the furnace scene or the dinner party scene where everyone's like looking at him. That is how this movie is shot, and it's really good at putting you in Indy's shoes. So, as always, let's dive in. Spoiler free. Welcome to Spooky Nights. Good Boy follows very loyal canine Indy as he follows his owner Todd to a rural farmhouse that Todd has inherited from his granddad. There were some suspicious circumstances around Todd's granddad's death. He died in the house, and it seems that everyone in Todd's family seems to think that the house is filled to the brim with bad juju. But Todd has been really sick recently and he just wanted to get away, so he's happy to trade the white clinical hallways of a hospital for a dirty, dusty, grimy fixer-upper, complete with family graveyard. Yay! Fortunately for Todd, Indy is fucking great company. Unfortunately for Indy, the creepy shades that only he can see are not good company. So everyone is saying it, and I agree. The performance by Indy in this movie is amazing, which means in turn the direction and the editing is amazing. The crew were able to expertly use Indy's very expressive little face and his adorable head tilts and his low whines and growls pretty much perfectly. I knew there's not a lot of dialogue in this movie, and I knew what was happening and how Indy felt about what was happening every step of the way. And that's not because I know dogs and I know their behavior or anything. I think anyone who watches this movie can pick up what Indy is putting down. Put it down, drop it, drop it, drop it, just in case any dogs are watching. This movie did make me want to go home and cuddle my dog. It obviously had an effect. I came home and gave Hex the biggest cuddles. This movie also deals with the really uncomfortable theme of how people who are ill often are kind of hard to be around and lash out. Like, that is something that happens. I have cared for people in the end of life, and it's tough. It's tough. And it would be so confusing to a dog. You know, you're like, hey, bro, you're like my best friend. Why are you being a dick to me all of a sudden? So it's really good at conveying that. There's also some surprisingly good jump scares in this movie, like 3 or 4 of them, in fact. And while they are the cheap sort of whisper, whisper, bang style of jump scare, dogs are scared of loud noises, right? You should see my dog when fireworks go off. He is taken to times he never lived in, fighting in wars that he's never fought in, right? Like dogs are scared of loud noises, and it does a really good job of putting you in Indy's shoes because Indy would probably also be scared of that shit. This movie isn't shot from the POV, right? You are not seeing through Indy's eyeballs, but you are seeing from his level. So everything above Todd's sort of chest height, you don't really see a lot of, but it's really good at putting you in Indy's perspective. It also there's a threat from above, right? The dogs can't see. It's really like they can hear really well, they can smell really well, but they can't see like up, and that adds to the fear a little bit. I do have to give a shout out to Shane Jensen, who played Todd, not because his acting is going to get him an Oscar or anything, but because he had the hardest job in this movie, and that is there are multiple points where he has to be a fucking prick to sweet angel-faced Indy, and that would have been really fucking difficult. And that brings me to the main issues I had with this movie. One of them is that Todd's a fucking prick. I did not care for Todd at all. He was awful to his sister. He was not a good dog owner to Indy at certain points, even though Indy loved him dearly. And I know Indy loved him dearly, right? Like, that's because dogs are a gift from the heavens to mankind. But there were points of this movie where I felt like a best friend at brunch who just listened to their friend complain about their partner all the time. I was sort of like, babes, if he doesn't love you, you should leave him. You should get out of there. You're too good for him. That's how I fucking felt. That's how I felt in this movie at parts. There's also some egregiously bad CGI effects that are done at the end of this movie. One involving a window. Now, if they were done to spare Indy the anguish of actually having to do stunt work, I am 100% cool with them. I would rather that, in fact. But if they weren't, they were just flat out bad. There's also no real plot in this movie. Todd can't see any of these things. Indy can see a lot of bad shit happening in the house. There's the plot. You know what I mean? So if you do need a clear plot in a movie, this is probably not one for you. That being said, although this is like a gimmick movie, this is enjoyable the whole way through, which is hard to pull off, right? Like most gimmick movies drop off after like 10, 12 minutes. Like fucking Skinamarink did that for me. I was like, Jesus Christ. This movie is enjoyable the whole way through. So you got to give the team kudos for that. I would watch this if you love dogs. Indy's the main star of this movie. It is very much Indy's movie. If you like watching movies where you're like, how the fuck did they make this happen? There's some great behind the scenes of this movie. It's really interesting how they got Indy to do certain things and the clever editing they used. If you want a reason to come home and shower your dog with love, this movie will do that to you. I'm telling you. I would not watch this. I would skip this film if you are a cat or a small prey animal. Probably not for you. If you're not an animal lover in general, the emotional tie to this movie would be gone, and there would be nothing in this movie for you. Like, it is straight. If you do not like animals, this will be a nothing movie for you. If you need a very clear, forward-moving plot in your horror films, this does not have that. If you love movies that are told from the perspective of the innocent and vulnerable, I highly recommend Tigers Are Not Afraid. It is a Mexican fantasy horror filmed by Issa Lopez. It's about a group of orphans who have to navigate the fallout of the Mexican drug war. Basically, it's super heartbreaking. It's expertly delivered though. It's got guns, it's got ghosts. There's a little bit of good for her horror in it. I really like this one. And like Good Boy, it's really good at shooting from the perspective of kids. And it really shows you how terrifying these sort of situations would be for kids. Because this shit, that's a real world fear, right? Another movie, now big caveat to my second recommendation, right? I had completely blocked this film out of my memory because I found it fucking weird and disturbing. But when I was writing the recommendations for this, I was like, holy shit. It has to go in there. So this is a very weird French film called Baxter. It's from 1989, I think. It is the polar opposite of Good Boy. It is Bad Boy, if you will. It's about a sociopathic white bull terrier named Baxter. It's kind of a shame it's a bull terrier because they're a really maligned breed, and I love bull terriers with their little fucking shovel faces and shit. I love them. They're so cute. But Baxter in this is 100% an evil fuck. He is murderous. He is plotting. He is trying to do harm to everything he can get his fucking paws on. So if you do want to see the opposite of Good Boy and watch Bad Boy, watch Baxter. It is 100% in the dog horror canon, and it doesn't get brought up a lot. It's fucking strange. That's it. That is day 11 in the books. Let me know what horror movies you want made about animals. I would love a horror movie to be made about the cassowary, which is this giant fuck-off bird we have here in Australia. It's got a big crest on its head, and it can kill people. It can literally disembowel people. It's got giant claws. The claws on it are like this fucking big, and it kicks and it chases people, and they're super territorial. Google them. They're a real fucking thing. I try to convince people all the time that they're a real thing. People don't seem to believe me. Fucking Google them. Cassowary attacks happen. They're probably the bird that you least want to run into unexpectedly in Australia. They're fucking crazy, and they're super quick. Another one would be a croc. I love reptiles. These are snake enclosures behind me. I have lots of pet snakes. I fucking love reptiles. I would love to see a horror film from the perspective of a crocodile where it's in a river in North Queensland just doing croc shit, eating cows, doing that sort of shit, and have it get relocated to a croc farm and have to escape. That would be fucking sick. Please make that movie. Please throw money at it. That would be awesome. I would love that so much. And crocs are always the bad guys. Give us a good croc guy movie. Come on, man. Come on. Let me know what animal you would like a horror film made about. Let's make it look like fucking Noah's Ark in these comments. Because, yeah, I do enjoy animal horror. I would love good animal horror too. Like let's make the animals the good guys in some of them. Watership Down style. All right. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow for another review. Peace.